Hello everyone, welcome all to my video. We are going to start a new topic, that is delegation of authority. So it is one of the important topic in the organizational behavior. Let's go to the slide. What is delegation? Delegation is the assignment of responsibility to another person for the purpose of carrying out specific job related activities. So delegation is a shift of decision making authority from one organizational level to the another level. So delegation is basically when we use it to delegate something to someone. It is an administrative or management process of getting things done by others by giving them responsibility. So the manager giving them responsibility to do some work on our behalf. We all know that there are three levels of management: strategic level, tactical level and lower level managers. Usually the top level managers or higher level managers delegates their duties or power or tasks to the lower level workers in order to make the work to be done in a limited span of time. Let's move to the next slide. Elements of delegation. There are mainly three elements of delegation: authority, responsibility and accountability. Authority is the right or power that the organization provides them with the aim of accomplishment of certain common goals. So authority flows downwards as the top management provide it to the managers and executives at different levels of management. And responsibility is the obligation of an individual to perform assigned duties to the best of his ability under the direction of his leader or as required by the superior. And finally, accountability is the obligation of the subordinates to make him answerable for the work done by him. Therefore, all these three elements, authority, responsibility and accountability, are interrelated, as the creation of one leads to the creation of the other two. Here authority flows downwards from top to bottom, but responsibility flows bottom to top. And the things to be done by the superior for the proper delegation is the allocation. Firstly, he allocates duties to the responsible head, then delegate the authority. After that, he assigns the responsibility to the delegatee, and the delegatee completely responsible for the assigned task, and he also required to complete the given task in the timeline. And after that, creation of accountability, which is in the sense that we are making the person answerable for the given task going on. So here the responsibility is derived from authority and accountability is derived from the responsibility. Okay, let's move to the next slide. The features of delegation. The first feature of delegation is key to the organizing. We all know that organization is one of the important functions of management. So through this function, the duties and work are allotted to the workers in the organization. So delegation is an important part in the function of organizing. Next is based on division of work. Division of work is the course of task which is been assigned to a group of workers, which has been in order to increase the efficiency. So the objective of division of work or division of labor is to get more work done in a better way with the same effort and become productive. So thereby the employees are able to specialize in a specific task. So specialization is possible through the division of work because the employees will be much more expertise in the given task. And the next one is only part of authority is delegated. The managers can delegate only part of his authority to the subordinates to whom the work is delegated. He is not supposed to delegate his full authority or full duties to the subordinates. And the next one is delegated authority can be withdrawn. Here, whenever the subordinates make any fault or misconvenience while performing the given task, the delegator has the right to withdraw the authority which is been delegated. The next one is management by exception is possible. It enables the managers to use his time on high priority activities. The routine work will be delegated to the lower level managers. And the next one is delegator is responsible for the act of subordinates. That is, the person who delegate the work remain accountable for the outcome of the work which is been delegated. So whatever be the activities of the delegatee or the subordinates, the delegator himself is responsible for that. And the last one is only ordinary or routine work can be delegated. Okay, delegating routine work will relieve the stress of managers. Therefore, for effective delegation, only the ordinary or routine work can be delegated to the subordinates. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Benefits of delegation. So the delegation is much more beneficial to the managers, employees and the organization level too. Firstly, the benefit of delegation to the managers or supervisors. First point, it reduces the stress. In this case, if the manager have too much work to do, then delegating some of his routine workload to the subordinates, and thereby the manager free up more time and relieve stress and also create opportunity to focus on the key or important matters or high priority matters. Next is improved time management. The delegation helps the managers to give time and ability to focus on high level tasks or higher priority tasks, which gives more attention. And the next one is increased trust. Here, they need to develop a trust between the worker and improve communication. So it builds the confidence of managers and also increase the trust in the employees. And next is the benefit of delegation to the employees in the organization. The first one is professional knowledge and skill development. It is by way of delegation of duties, and the routine task will motivate and inspire the employees, and thereby it will be helpful and contribute for the developing their professional skills and knowledge, because in this sense they are doing the higher level function and which will enhance their professional skill and knowledge. Next is elevated self-esteem and confidence. Here the delegation helps to increase the morale, confidence and productivity of the subordinates, and also create a self-esteem and confidence in the minds of employees in order to perform the task. And the next point is sense of achievement. We all know that the primary objective of delegation is to effectively use the time and talent of workers and also make the employees work as a team to attain the common goals and objectives of the organization. So this unity not only improve the morale of the employees but also create a sense of achievement. And the next is the benefits of delegation in the organizational level. The first one is increased teamwork. Here the delegation of the work generate team spirit and involvements and also helps to create the morale of employees. So we all know that unity of strength, that is one of the important principles of management, which create teamwork in the minds of employees, and thereby the morale of employees will be increased. Next point is increased productivity and efficiency. Delegation helps to increase productivity, improve efficiency and also for time management. So it helps to improve the individual strength of workers and thereby which result in the better and overall efficiency of the organization. So these are the important benefits of delegation. Let's move to the next slide. Knowing when to delegate. So delegating can be especially helpful in the following situation. When to delegate the work. First situation is when the task offers valuable training to an employee. Here, when the manager feels that the work will contribute as a training tool for the workers. In this situation, the work will be delegated to the employees. The second situation, when an employee has more knowledge or experience relating to the tasks than the manager. That is, when the manager feels that someone else in the organization is better suitable for the task than the manager who delegates. In this situation also, the work will be delegated to the employees. And the next one is when the task is recurring and all employees should be prepared or trained. Suppose the work of the superior manager is of recurring or ordinary nature, and the workers who have experience or expertise to do the job, and also the team members who have potential to do the job. In this case also, the work will be delegated to the workers. And the next one is when the task is of low priority and you have a high priority task that require your immediate attention. Okay, here the situation in which the manager do not have enough time to complete all of the tasks laid on. So therefore, he will delegate the low priority tasks to the subordinates, and thereby the management by exception is possible. And also the manager have more important key tasks to perform and would like to restructure his time. In this situation also he will delegate his authority or duties to his subordinates. So these are the four situations in which the managers delegate his duties to the subordinates. Okay, next, to whom should you delegate? Okay, while deciding to whom the manager delegates his authority, for the manager wants to consider the current workload of employees, their strength and weakness, and also their training and experience level. Okay, so these are the three important factors that the manager wants to consider while delegating their authority. The next one is delegation obstacles. The first obstacle of delegation is the lack of support. Managers and employees must be fully supportive of the delegation efforts in order to be successful. The inability of the superior to issue proper guidance or direction also create difficulties in the process of delegation. The next one is lack of interest. Managers who keep the interesting work in themselves and assign routine and monotonous to others give rise of disengagement. So very often the top executives feel that they can do job better and the subordinates are not competent to perform the task with the same degree of skills. And the next one is failure to plan. Taking the time to follow the steps for delegation can avoid any pitfalls that might otherwise be overlooked. Here, when the executives have no means of knowing the serious difficulties in the working of the task in advance, they may hesitate to delegate the authority. So, failure of planning and decision making may also lead to inefficiency of delegated work. And the last point is lack of communication. Communicating the plan in a clear and precise manner prevents errors caused by miscommunication. And the employees may also feel that they lack the necessary information and resources to do the specific task which is been delegated by the manager. So these are the important obstacles of delegation. And let's conclude my topic. Delegation is a powerful tool when used correctly, can create an effective and safe environment in which the managers and employees work together to achieve positive outcome. So the delegation of authority ensure efficiency and productivity in the organization. Thank you. Thanks a lot.